a student in this class, and today you all are going to meet my dad, who is a male to female transgender individual. So, as we were watching the Middlesex movie and everything, I was just like, wow, this hits home so much, and it's so interesting to actually hear about other stories, because this has been a part of my life for the past 6 years. So I found out when I was 15. So today you're just going to kind of hear a timeline of events of how my dad has gone through this, and hopefully you enjoy it.
Thank you. I want to thank you for having me. This isn't the first time I've done this, so I don't take speaking to groups like this lightly. I see this as a huge responsibility for all the people that are like myself, that if anything, by the end of this little talk I give you, you'll understand that this social issue that many people share, like me, that there's absolutely no way that this would ever be a choice. You will feel it from my heart today, knowing what pain and joy, you get absolutely both emotions going through what I've went through. And then to have a daughter like Kendra, who has lived through it just like I have lived through it, and to see what she's had to go through. I don't know if you can imagine your parent doing that, if one of your parents is like this, but for her to have to see her dad, who is basically this macho, although that was something you had to portray, very male, and then find out, very shockingly, because she had no idea what was going on, until her mother one day said, guess what, this is happening, and our family's basically going to break up. And I'll tell you that was one of the lowest points of my life when that happened. But there's just so much to it and so much to tell. And like I said, I just hope that you just get a little bit of a piece of what this is like for someone in my situation, and try and suspend all judgment, because I'm sure that some of you came into the classroom today thinking, oh God, what's this going to be like? We got this crazy person coming in. They're probably on Jerry Springer, and that those people are just freaky. Well, I'm here to show you that we're not freaky, that we are really people. There are some freaks out there, that are, they portray this as sensationalism, as something that they need to do to get attention. I don't need it. I don't want attention. I just want to live. And so, fortunately, I can do that. And it's pretty difficult to constantly go through your day wondering what the person is thinking as they look at you. And if they've got a background in hate or judgment about my situation, now I have to worry about my safety. And I'm pretty logical about where I go. I don't go into biker bars, although I did once, and that was scary as hell. But I don't go where I will get in trouble. And you'll hear these stories about these transgender people who end up getting murdered. And I will say that my heart goes out to those people, because I know the struggle that they're going through. And fortunately, when I transitioned and had a job that I was able to stay at, I'm a high school teacher, in case you guys weren't aware of that. I teach up in Portland, at Westland High School in Portland. But, which is a whole story, and I'll get into that too. But these people that come into this lifestyle that they don't choose to do, but have to do, they can't get work. They're basically at the whim of the society that is constantly judging them and putting them in a corner, basically saying, get the hell out of here, I don't want to be around you. And these people are, their hearts are just like your hearts. That's the only thing about it. This shell that you see isn't me. This is just a costume. And unfortunately, this costume for me makes this little brain up here go, I'm happy now. And if I didn't have this feeling like I had when she was growing up, she saw at various times, and we were really happy, loving family. Believe me, we had so much fun. But I was frustrated because I couldn't be who I was, so I'd have to sneak around. And she didn't know, but I would call in sick at school just so I could have a day to dress and be myself. And it was just a constant deal that was just so hard to deal with. So now, being able to be like, I'm breathing real air now. I'm not underwater holding my breath. And that's basically what it feels like. So I can tell you, you are so lucky to have a gender that your brain matches your body, and you never struggle with it, and you never even think twice about it. And I had to think about it ever since I was a little bitty kid with a memory. That's when I knew. That's how, and I'll get into that. When I knew that I was different than everybody else. Holy crap, now what? I'm a little kid who has to live in a world where what I think is different than how people are. And I'll start my story with my earliest recollections. My earliest recollection was when I went into my parents' bedroom, and my parents had a closet with 2 drawers underneath it, and under one drawer was my dad's shoes, under the other drawer was my mom's shoes. I went to my mom's shoes. I don't know why I did. I liked putting on those heels and walking around in them. And then in her closet, she had her clothes. And on one side was my dad's clothes, and the other side was my mom's clothes. And from my earliest recollections, 3 years old, 2 years old, I would go in her closet, and her dresses would be hanging in the closet, and I would just go in there and stand underneath one of them. Just stand in it. Just like this. Not even playing hide and seek. I was just in there. And it just made me feel good. And I didn't know what that was about. So that was the earliest thought about what was going on with me. A couple years later, I had 2 older sisters. I'm from a family of 11 children. Very, actually my oldest sister went to Oregon State. So did my second sister, which she graduated here. When I was 5 years old, between 5 and 6, this is my earliest idea of that, my 2 older sisters had a bunch of clothes that they had grown out of. And I was a fairly small child. But they had this big box of clothes in the attic. And I had a brother that was, well, I still do, he's a year and a half younger than I am. And I said, hey, let's go up in the attic. Let's go put a dress on. Like it'd be a really cool thing to do. He goes, okay. He's 4 years old, you know. So I talk him into it, and I know exactly what I'm going for. And there's in this box is this little flower dress, and I just knew that I wanted that thing, and I put it on. And as soon as I put that dress on, it was magic. It was like, holy freaking cow. What is this feeling that I have never had before? And, well, that was it from that moment on. So we played a couple hours, and my mom finally called up to us and said, come on down for dinner. And that meant we had to change out of those clothes. And I remember thinking, I don't want to change. This is so freaking cool. But we had to change out of them, and we did, and had dinner and went to bed or whatever. So the next day, I go to my brother again. I go, let's go do that again. He goes, no way. That was stupid. I'm not doing that again. That was really dumb. And here he is. He's a year younger than I am, and he's like 4. And I'm going, holy crap, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound like it's something that I'm supposed to be doing. I certainly didn't tell anybody. My mom was really good about it. She didn't make an issue about it. And actually, she never really thought twice about it. And she had her own thing going on, and I'll tell you about that too. So at that point, I started to keep it a secret. And I kept that secret till I was 40 years old. But, so here I am,